Hello fellow scrubs, welcome to another episode of Joe's Corner. I am your host Joe, and this is my corner. And today we're going to be talking about a really cool deck that a lot of people have been really hyping up. It's the Fox, QB, Fox guy. He's super good. Yeah, pretty good. Some nasty stuff you people are doing with him. So I'm going to do a deck profile about what I kind of cobbled together. Some of the cards I think are good. Some of the cards I think are, bad. Just what my deck is looking at right now at this point. I think there's a lot of different variations people are going with. And without further ado, let's get into it. I'm gonna go through the core of what I think every good Fox deck should have. Let's get stones out of the way first. I've got 4 black-green stones. I'm not running 3 colors. I know a lot of people really like blue. Either way is fine, honestly. So 4 black-green regular stones, 4 killing stones. If we could run 10, we would, but we can't run 10. That would be silly. And then 1 each of red, for black and green. I think I've seen some lists with 2 blacks. You can do black-blue or another black-blue if you're running blue. It's possible. I'm not going to run blue, but I think it's a great color. You got Bear Magic, really good stuff. But yeah, so let's get into some of the meat and potatoes of the deck. First of all, we've got probably the MVP of the deck, in my opinion, the Monkey Trapped in Life. I'm running 4 of him because I just think he's that good. I know some people run 3, some run 2. I think 4 is a good number. You never want to, not have him. You can drop 2 of them and then Chimera on your turn and Chimera on their turn, which is, pretty good. Monkey's really good. He just cycles back into your hand, basically replaces himself for sacking Resonators. Next 4 is Tama, Familiar of Holy Wind. She's amazing. 1 drop, you draw a card, and then you just sack her, and she dies. Really good, definitely 4 of in this deck. This is like the drivetrain of the deck. It just kind of tries to keep on giving. I'm running 4 Red Riding Hoods. She is especially good. You drop her turn 2, drop her when you need her, and then you Judgment, and she brings out a stone. Which, on top of Chimera, on top of the Griphon is, 3 stone ramp. That's pretty ridiculous. You can bring her back even, she'll have Swiftness, First Strike, and Precision if you have enough stones, which you get stones pretty quickly in this deck. Definitely digging Red Riding Hood. I think 4 is a great number. I'm running 4 Lilias, Petals Assistant. You probably get away with running 3 or, maybe 2, probably not 2 though, but she's great. When she gets played, you take a 1-cost Resonator from your graveyard, put it onto your field, so you get to basically remnant those Tamas to draw cards. Just really, really great card. What it kind of boils down to is she's a 3-cost Chimera, which is pretty nice, pretty good. 3-cost Chimera. Next, we're gonna get into some of the deck's other really good stuff. Some people run it, some people don't. Some people are doing like stealth-based decks. Bears and bows, Rules of Moria deck. My deck is not a Rules of Moria deck, unfortunately. But so I'm doing my 2 Horn of Sacred Beasts. I think 2 is a good number. I'll have to test out to see whether I want to add more. It's always good to be able to shuffle those killing stones back in and immediately be able to draw them. If you're, instead of tapping for your Fox for it. Got 2 Blessing of Yggdrasils. I think 2 is a good number. It basically lets you search your deck for a killing stone if you get bricked or if you haven't drawn those killing stones yet. It's a nice card to kind of bring out what you need. I've got 2 Yashamarus because he's a 1-cost black guy, and there's not really a lot of other 1-cost black guys that I have. I kind of want to replace him for something else, but I'm not sure. His effect's okay. He kills 7 dwarves. He kills, cats and stuff. He's okay. I don't know. I'll probably drop them eventually. But I got 3 World Tree Protectors. These are really nice cards. You play them when you sack them. They basically replace themselves. You search your deck for another avatar, put it in your hand. Definitely a pretty good card. Only 2 costs, which is nice. He goes in our drivetrain right there. I've got a token Grusbalesta, Magic Stone Researcher. I think Grusbalesta is pretty good. Protects hooks. You can discard your stone base to try and hit more killing stones easier. I think he's not bad. I've only got 1. Maybe I'll run 2. Maybe not. I don't know. He's okay. I've got 3 Wall of Winds. I'm really not too sure I'll keep the Wall of Winds in my deck. It requires you to not try and go for turn 2 chimeras, since you're holding on to those Wall of Winds. Maybe getting some Elf Dorks might change my mind if I want to go that route, but I'm not sure. For now, they're in the deck. I don't know if I'd keep them in there. There's some other pretty good cancel stuff like Final Breeze. I might replace with Final Breeze. But we've got 4 Keen Senses. Keen Sense is a good card, I think. Alternatives are Seal of Wind and Light if you want to go white. There's that 2 cost cancel in the green starter deck. That's okay. Obviously, you can use Final Breeze, which is a new card that if you torrent off of it, lets your opponent not do anything. I'm digging the Keen Sense because you can kill chance standby cards, which if somebody's playing, prison, if someone's trying to prison a Lunar Lake you can stop that before activating. You can stop their stealth train, the stealth resonators that are very prevalent. I like it. It's worked so good for me so far, and it helps protect your chimeras after they come out, and lets you kind of, once you're in the mid to late game, you can do some fancy stuff. I am running 3 Space-Time Collapses. I know this isn't a card that's seeing much play right now, but I dig it. Destroy target Resonator or Regalia. It really helps with those pesky bows that people have everywhere. I'm digging it. I like it. There's other stuff that's equally as good, probably better. Now we're going to get into some of cards that I would probably play in the deck if I owned more of them, but I don't own them, so. Planting Beam. I have 1, but I think it's a pretty good card. And, 3 mana to tutor anything. You can tutor like Keen Senses, more Resonators, pretty good. You can also play Planting Beams, drop Tama in your discard, and then pick her up with Lilias. Pretty interesting card. I dig it. I have 1 the last drop because I only own 1. This should probably be a 3 or 4 of. It's really nice. 2 mana. You return any 2-cost Resonator from your graveyard to your field, rested. So it's really great for returning Red Riding Hood, and then just sacking her again and getting even more stones. The last drop, you should probably run 3 of them, but I only own 1, so I'm only running 1 of those. 1 of Heavenly Gust. This is just kind of a nice, nice to have if you draw into it and you're like in a pinch. I don't know. It's okay in there. And of course we got our token Moonbeam. Token Moonbeam is pretty good. Kills J-Rulers. So that's the majority of the deck. That's the deck that I've kind of cobbled together right now. Still kind of testing it, but I think it's pretty decent right now. We got some games of this version on our channel versus Oscar. You guys can take a look at that. I'm going to talk about next. I'm going to talk about some of kind of what the deck does, some cool tricks you can do. Oh, and the sideboard. All right, we're gonna head into the sideboard now. Half of your sideboard is chimeras, so I'm running 2 Ammit, Beasts of Gluttonies, the guys who come in and kill stuff. 2 Manticores, the guys that kill your opponent's hand stuff. And 3 Griphons. And I think 3 Griphons is good because 2 feels like 2 less, and you know, Griphons are probably the best card in the deck, so I'm gonna get 3 of those. I've got 2 Horned Sacred Beasts in my sideboard, just in case I want to try running 4, you know, I having any trouble getting those Killing Stones back in. The last 6 cards in my sideboard suck, but I got 3 Grusbalesta Secret Techniques because it's a cool card and it's black-green. And I've got 3 Wetlands of Magical Origin because it's also a pretty cool card and it's black-green. Are there way better sideboard cards? Yes. Is this my sideboard for now? Yeah. It's not very good. But you know, some of the stuff that I wish I owned and I could put in the deck would be the X cost cancel. Super good. You can block bears and rid their entire deck of bears. It's pretty good. Pretty great card. You honestly probably want to run a couple of those in the sideboard. I think Wallowin, you could drop Wallowin for that. The X card cancel, in case you guys didn't know, is X black green, and it's counter your opponent's spell. I think it's just a regular spell, unless they pay X. And if they don't pay X, and it's successfully canceled, you search their hand, deck, and I think maybe graveyard. I'm not sure. For a card of the same name, and you exile it. So it wipes out all of their bears that are in their hand or in their deck. It's pretty nice. I definitely recommend playing it in this deck. It's a good one. So, the idea of the deck is obviously you want to cast Griphons. Griphons are amazing when they get on the field. You put the top 2 stones of your Magic Stone deck into your field. They don't come in rested or anything, so you can immediately drop whatever else you want. Hopefully you want to hit more Killing Stones off of Griphons. The deck can deactivate turn 2. So turn 1, if you're going second, you can play Monkey and Tama. Turn 2, you can deactivate and hit a Chimera if your opponent's a retard and doesn't do anything to stop you. But it's a pretty good combo, very fast. You just get out Griphons, and you get out more Griphons, and you get more stones than your opponent has, even though you're sacking all your stones. It's kind of ridiculous. But once I've been kind of getting out maybe 2 or 3 Griphons, I think, because you'll basically have your entire stone deck by then. You want to start dropping Manticores or the Beast of Gluttony after that, based on how you're doing. If your opponent's been discarding your hand or killing your Chimeras, but maybe he's low on cards, you want to hit him with Manticores to eat away at his hand. Take away any answers he could have. If he's got some big Gwyber out maybe, or something rough that you need to deal with, or if you're losing a little bit, if you're a little behind, you want to drop some Beast of Gluttonies. Really cool combo is your opponent draws before their untap phase. You can drop a Manticore on their turn and take out any answers they might have just drawn. Really, really good if they're top decking. You pretty much already won the game because you're just going to keep dropping Manticores. As long as the deck performs correctly, as long as you keep drawn into your sack stuff. If you got your monkey engine going, you're just going to keep getting it back. All you need is 1 green resonator after that. Really good. Hell, you can start sacking your own Chimeras after that. Chimera and Monkey is like a Chimera each turn, depending on if you got your Killing Stones. But the deck does really well. Once it starts getting into its groove, it feels pretty much unstoppable. Like I played this version of the deck runs really well. The match versus Oscar versus me versus Oscar was a pretty good match. He was running a Valentina list similar to the Mikage list that people are using, but based around Valentina instead of Mikage, and the deck just performed really well against it. Fox is going to be really good. I think if it wasn't for the Griphon, I think he'd be less good. Probably B tier maybe, but the Griphon just really puts him over the top. Being able to ramp up literally faster than your opponent while sacking your own stones is really good. I haven't played the deck versus any like good feasting decks, which I know, if you get hooked, that's pretty rough, but we'll have to see. Definitely think the deck could be improved. My version is a little loose right now. If I wanted to go versus like meta decks, I might, if I'm trying to fight a feasting deck, maybe I'll run more Prison. Well, no, Prison of the Lunar Lake wouldn't work because you don't own any water magic stones, which is why blue would be really good in this deck. Blue, side-in bears and bows, and Prison of the Lunar Lake, that takes care of a lot of problems the deck might have while constantly ramping up. Be really good. I'm going to talk about some other versions I've seen. People, going around. I think there's a stealth version of this deck where the main cards, Lilias, Petal, Red Riding Hood, Tama, and the Monkey are all pretty much the same, because that's a really good, just by itself is really is the core of the deck. And then they got like stealth resonators and the stealth resonator engine and a couple other things. I think it's pretty good, but I don't know if stealth resonators fit in the deck. I don't know. Another, people are playing a blue version, with bears and bows and Prison of Lunar Lake. A lot of people are playing discard cards with Lapis Darkstorm, Scorn of Dark Alice, Nameless Mist. I think that has a lot of potential, especially with dropping Manticores. You can absolutely destroy their hand and make sure that they just don't have anything to play versus you. I think that could be is one of the best lists out there right now, is some kind of discard list. Because being able to play Manticore on their upkeep, and if they're trying to search, or if they're trying to search for stuff, it's really good. Really, really good. People are saying some of the issues with the deck, I think, is Blazer is really good against the deck. He can flip, make the Fox lose its can't be destroyed text, and then kill it. Final Forfeit and Moonbeam do destroy Fox, but I've heard people saying that you can Manticore after they play Final Forfeit to take the Moonbeam out of their hand before they can cast it, which is more of like a if they're going to go for it and you have that combo, yeah, but if they're going to wait for you to play your chimeras, then you're not going to be able to do that, obviously. But and of course, I think probably the best counter to the deck is Dark Alice. With her 1-cost exiling card, you basically will only ever get 4 chimeras out, because every time you sack a killing stone, she'll just take it out. And if the Alice player is good, and the Fox player tries to chase it with its putting its killing stone back in the deck, you just chase it again with your ability again if you have another black, or you just wait until he taps for a stone and then do it. Really good. I think Dark Alice is probably one of the better counters. She has a lot of kill spells, a lot of kill potential. Chimeras are really easy to kill. That's another issue with the deck. They can't protect themselves. There's nothing really to stop people from just bare bowing you, or Mikage can just ping a Demon Flame. They're very weak to everything, but the idea is it doesn't really matter because you're ramping up and you're just dropping chimeras, every turn or so. Because you can never get rid of the chimeras. You can take them from your remove from game, from your sideboard, from anywhere. They're pretty good. Definitely digging the deck. Gosh, I think that's all. Check out the game of me versus Oscar. That's this version of the deck. There's an older version of me versus Colin that's up, and That's a worse. That's not a. I don't like that deck. It was kind of thrown together. So apparently my battery died right when I was giving my my closing statements. So I'm gonna go from where I left off. There's like I only got a little bit more to talk to you guys about. Fox is pretty good. You know, that was pretty much it where I got to. Gonna tell you guys, check out the 2 games that we should have up very soon. One of them is Colin versus Joey. I'm Joey, I don't care. But it's a pretty good one. It's a previous version of the deck. I'm not very proud of it, but it doesn't do bad, and it highlights what the deck does best. Obviously, it runs kind of mana dorks like Elf and Manticore and Vegetation. It's just not very good all around. But it's a good look at what the deck's supposed to do. Pretty good. We will be uploading a game of Oscar versus me versus Oscar, and that's this.